Hello, I'm Mike, and this is Will, and we are the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
Bringing issue 32 of Warhammer 40k Conquest today. As always, if you want to skip the issue rundown, check the description for a timestamp. But in this issue, we got a Space Marine Primaris Apothecary, a sort of battlefield medic for the Space Marines. And heading into issue here, you can see the role of the apothecaries. They're battlefield medics, and their role is also to recover the gene seed from fallen Space Marines so that it can be reused to make more Space Marines. And again, the war gear of the apothecaries. The Primaris Apothecary has two different types of bolt pistol, no melee weapons unfortunately, which hopefully won't skew him in the future. And there's a bit of fiction here about a Death Watch apothecary, a Blood Angels one specifically, going to a Tyranid hive. And you see there's some background info on the Death Watch themselves here. A chapter made up of other chapters of Space Marines.
For fighting aliens.
Yes, specifically for fighting aliens. And here we have the build guide for the Primaris Apothecary. Now, he has quite a lot of parts for a single miniature. Some of them are quite fiddly to put on, like this little mirror here on his neck plate. And you get a fair number of options for like the specific drills and which pistol he actually has in his hand and whether he wears a helmet or not.
But this is one of these models that is £25, or no, £22.50, isn't
Yes, so he has a lot more choice than the librarian, at least.
Yes, true, yeah.
Or the Primaris captain, but anyway. And here we have the painting guide, so slightly different here. Base coat scheme in Celestra Grey, because apothecaries traditionally wear white armour, so Celestra Grey is a good starting point. And painting robes red, it's fairly similar, usual ultramarine stuff. Blue armour, blue for the dying man. But it's good to be careful around all the fine details to make sure you don't get anything on the grey base or anything on him. And here you have the picture of the completed base coat, and then going through all of the washes and putting the astrogranite on his base. And just a bit here about going back and fixing all your mistakes. But rundown over, we'll head into the mission this week, where the apothecary will hopefully put in a good showing. We'll head into that now.
So on to this week's mission, and we have mission briefing here on Alive Fallen, a bit of background. The apothecary's job being to collect fallen gene seed, and that's the focus of our mission, recover the gene seed. And as you can see, we've got our corner deployment zones again, but the Space Marine player gets to choose who gets which one. And then the Space Marine player deploys a unit first, then they alternate. Death Guard get to go first, however, so a bit of a trade-off there. But before any of that, we have to place 5 objective markers. The Space Marine player places the first one, and then we alternate, and so on. And they can be 6 inches from a mat edge and 6 inches from another objective. Well, they have to be, rather. And then either the Apothecary or the Biologus Putrifier can collect the objectives, and they're the only ones who can do so. And they can collect an objective in base contact at the end of the enemy turn, unless they fell back in the battleground or were there within 1 inch of an enemy. Now, battleground is important because that means that technically Death Guard model falling back can't collect it if they, at the end of the battleground, at the end of the Space Marine turn, but the Space Marines can because it's the next battleground, because they go second. So that doesn't make sense, but we're going to play it how it says. Each objective collected during the game is worth 3 victory points, and at the end of the game, if you control objective by having more models within 3 inches, they're worth 2, and then we've got 5 battle rounds to collect them all. So that's fairly straightforward, really. Then, of course, we have the datasheet for our new Primaris Apothecary, and he's got a couple of pistols. He's a sort of standard Space Marine character, but the interesting thing he can do is he can revive people or heal them. So at the end of one of his movement phases, he can heal or revive a model from a unit within 3 inches of him. And so if the unit contains a wounded model, then it regains D3 lost wounds. If no wounded models, then on a 4+, he can return a slain model to the unit with 1 wound remaining. But if he fails to revive the model, he cannot do anything else for the rest of the turn because he's collecting gene seed. And once again, we have our campaign map in the fight for the city, and as you can see, we have marked in Death Guard victory in the previous mission, which means I get to pick where the next one takes place, but I'm going to choose to do it in contested territory again, so we will both get we'll both have available to us the ability for a unit to ignore cover for one shooting phase. So it'll be one of those. Let's pick that one there. But now we're going to have a look at the armies and get straight on with the mission. Here we have our Space Marine army featuring the new Primaris Apothecary, and he's got Lieutenant Cassius with him, and 5 Intercessors and 5 Reavers. And here's the Death Guard forces. We've got the Biologus Putrifier, obviously, and then we've got Foul Blight Spawn, 12 Poxwalkers, and 5 Plague Marines. We've got champion number 2 this time. So, placing objectives. Space Marines get to place the first one, and you've placed it there.
So, yeah, you have to be 6 inches away from the board edge or each other. So it doesn't say you have to be 6 inches away from a deployment zone. And since I get to pick deployment zones, I'm going to put one objective here.
Well, I've put my first objective there, just outside this deployment zone, which is going to be mine, I have a suspicion.
So my second objective I'm going to put here. It is more than 6 inches away from a board edge or any of the other objectives.
Obviously, all
dead Space Marine.
Yeah, these all represent dead Space Marines, but I've deployed my next one here by this pipe. It is actually slightly further away from the board edge than this, but it doesn't fit under the pipe, so when we measure models near it, we'll just have to remember exactly where it is. So that's objective placed, and then Space Marines get to pick a deployment zone. And, funnily enough,
I'm on this side of the table.
Yeah.
And it's by the ammo box.
Yeah, and now Space Marines get to deploy a unit first.
So for my first deployment, I'm going to deploy the intercessors there. That's out of the danger zone for getting a 1-turn squirt from the foul blight spawn.
For my first deployment, I actually put the Biologus Putrifier here, because he's the one who can collect objectives, so I want to put him where he can go ranging off, get some.
So my second deployment, I'm going to put the Apothecary here, behind the intercessors.
Then I've put down the Biologus Putrifier's retinue of Plague Marines here.
So my third deployment, I've deployed the Reavers here. Again, it's going to be out of the 20-inch danger zone of getting squirted by the foul blight spawn, and it will have to be in the dark grey bit to get cover from the area terrain.
And my job is the 12 Poxwalkers, forming a kind of screen there.
And last deployment, Lieutenant Calcius going in the middle there.
And then finally, Mr. Foulblight Spawn himself behind his Poxwalkers. So that's the deployment for the Death Guard and for the Space Marines. And Death Guard get to go first, so we're going to go on to Death Guard, turn 1. The first thing that's going to happen in my turn is these Poxwalkers are going to advance to try and spread out. So they roll a 1, 5 inches. So the Poxwalkers have spread out a bit, forming a screen for the Foulblight Spawn, who didn't need to advance to get there. He couldn't possibly be in range this turn, so he's happily enough just pottering up. The Biologus Putrifier is going to advance though, see if he can get himself all the way to that objective over there. 4, so that means 9 inches. Yep, so that is enough, get him touching that objective. And then the Plague Marines are just going to move up normally. And that brings all of them there like that. In the shooting phase, they are going to be the only unit who can shoot at anything. And all of your guys are in cover, so I think we're going to shoot at probably the intercessors at this point. Alright, slight adjustment. This bolt gunner can't see any intercessors, so he will shoot at the Reavers instead. So we'll do him first. He's only got 1 shot. It's on the 3. No, doesn't. Then at the intercessors, we've got 4 shots from blight launchers. We've got 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. That's 2 wounds, and you're in cover, so 4+.
4+ armor saves. Made 1.
D3 damage. 2, so...
Take the intercessor off the back.
Champion is not in rapid fire range, so we're not going to supercharge his plasma gun. Also, we get 1 shot, which hits on a 3, which does, and wounds on a 3, which it also does.
5+ armor save. Didn't make it. Intercessor takes a wound.
And then we'll just do the bolt gun as well quickly. He missed as well, so put 1 on the back guy over there. That's it for my shooting phase, and indeed the end of my turn because there's no charges. So that means we're going to be on to Space Marines turn 1, and the objectives are collected at the end of the enemy turn. So yes, he won't collect it quite yet.
So far for my movement, the Reavers have moved up to this window. Hopefully we can declare a charge on those Poxwalkers. And we're near the ammo box as well. The intercessors have come out of cover to make room for the Apothecary. Cassius just filled in between them. And the Apothecary is going to have to advance to get onto that objective. But a 4 is going to be enough, so he's just going to go like that. So he is touching that objective. And then it's the end of my movement phase, so he will heal this intercessor squad.
Yep.
So he regains the D3 lost wounds, but he's only lost 1, so that intercessor goes back up to 2. So on to the shoot phase. So I'm going to take a little bit of a risk. The intercessors are going to fire at the Plague Marines.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 of them are in rapid fire range, so we've got 7 shots hitting on 3s. Re-rolling 1s because we're near the ammo box. Yep. So that's 6 hits. So 6 hits, wounding on 5s, re-rolling 1s because of Calcius. 2 wounds, a lot of 2s there.
And I'm not in cover, so 4+ armor save. Failed 1, so I get to make my disgustingly resilient, which I have passed, so no damage.
And then these 3 Reavers here are in range of the Poxwalkers, so we'll shoot at them. 3 shots hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s, and wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 3 wounds.
3 wounds. Disgustingly resilient. I've failed all of them.
Well, that's enough to take you down to the not getting a bonus.
It is. But I'm going to take away these two at the front, because this makes your charge longer. It does expose the Foul Blight Spawn, but if you charge the Poxwalkers, you could have piled into him anyway, so I don't really lose anything by doing this. And I've got to take another officer, so I'll just take this one back. So on to the charge phase then. County is out of range and the Apothecary advanced.
Yeah. The Reavers will declare a charge on the Foul Blight Spawn. It's very risky, but it's going to try and hold him up.
Okay, yeah, well he's out of range for Overwatch, so you just need to roll your dice.
Yeah. So you're going to need a 10.
Oh! If I hadn't taken those two Poxwalkers away...
No, it wouldn't have got
9 is definitely not enough.
Yeah.
Phew, that's good. I'm glad I made that decision.
And then at the end of my turn, the Biologus Putrifier, he's unengaged, so he gets to take that objective.
Yep.
So that's 3 victory points for the Death Guard.
Yes. And then, with that, on to Death Guard turn 2. So all these units moved up. The Poxwalkers have advanced. No, I haven't advanced. They've moved 4 inches forward. The Foul Blight Spawn has come a little bit closer, so he's in range of those Reavers. But he's now better protected. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Plague Marines have moved over here. And then the Biologus Putrifier is going to advance to try and get himself to his next objective. 3, so that's going to be 8 inches. And that gets him to here, so it's not far enough to get to the objective. On to the shooting phase. We'll obviously start with the important part, which is the Foul Blight Spawn. He's going to shoot the Reavers, and I'm going to use my once per game ignoring cover bonus for contested territory. Ignore their cover. So the strength of the attack is going to be 7. Oh, that was nearly a 3. And then D6 automatic hits, 6.
Here we go.
Better than his more recent showings, and they wound on 3s, rerolling 1s. So 5 wounds, and you don't get cover from this.
5, 6 plus saves. Oh, made 2 of them.
You did?
2
okay.
Reavers survived, so it's the 2 at the front.
Well, and thanks to that casualty removal, the Plague Marines can't actually see any Reavers, apart from this guy on the end, but I'm not going to shoot him at them, so they all shoot everything at the Intercessors instead. 4 Blight Launch shots, 2 hits again, wounding on 3s. 1 wound. You're in the open.
5 plus. Nope.
D3 damage. 3.
Intercessor goes down.
Plasma gun, not going to supercharge it. 2 hits. Should have supercharged. Winning on 3s. Definitely should have supercharged. That would have been really big if I had, but never mind. And then 4 shots from bolt guns. A hit. Wounding on a 4. No. And we're going to declare a charge with the Poxwalkers on the Intercessors, but not the Apothecary. Because I could be able to pile into him anything anyway. If I can get into contact with him, he can't pick this objective up, so... You obviously have Overwatch.
So 6 Overwatch shots, hitting on 6s. Not rerolling 1s, but I didn't get any.
And then, I think I measured this was going to be a 7, but I'll check depending on what I roll. 12 is definitely enough. So they complete their charge move like so. And I might as well actually declare a charge with the Plague Marines on the Reavers, I think.
So this guy at the end can see a Plague Marine, so he'll Overwatch. Hitting on a 6, no.
So then their charge distance... no, that's cocked. So 4 and 3. No, 7 is not quite enough. Okay, so then in the fight phase, the Poxwalkers will pile into the Apothecary, which means he won't be able to pick that objective up. And then they will have 18 attacks between them on the Intercessors. 18 attacks hitting on 5s, because there are only 9 of them left. Some. And 1 was cocked, didn't hit. So that's still 8 hits, not bad. Wounding on 5s. 2 wounds.
3 plus arm saves. Made both.
And they get strike back.
So he'll pile in like that. 7 attacks, hitting on 3s. 4 hits. Wounding on 3s, rolling 1s. Hitting.
3 wounds.
3 wounds.
Disgustingly resilient. No, so 3 more Poxwalkers go down. There we are.
And then the Apothecary has 3 attacks as well.
Yeah, same.
3 attacks hitting on 3s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. Wounded.
Well, he takes out another one. And that will be it for the end of Death Guard turn 2. The Apothecary cannot pick up the objective because he's within an inch of an enemy model. And the Reavers don't have to take a morale test.
Because leadership 9.
Because they have the Sergeant has leadership 9 and they only lost 3 models. So we'll be on to Space Marines turn 2.
So at my movement, the 2 remaining Reavers and Chaosists are going to move up to try and hit off these 2. And then these guys are going to stay where they are. I'm not going to use the Apothecary's healing ability, even though he technically can, because it just says at the end of the movement phase, even though he's in a fight. But I'm not going to risk it in case I'd rather he fires his pistols and fights in the fight phase rather than having another Intercessor. Because if he fails, he doesn't get to do anything for the rest of the turn. So on to the shooting phase. I'll do the 3 Intercessors. We've got 3 shots with pistols, so they're within 2 inches of the ammo box, so we've got 3 shots, hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. Gordon Bennett loaded with blanks. Yep. Wounded on 3s, rolling 1s. Wounded.
Takes another Poxwalker down. That one.
Then I'll do the Apothecary shooting at the Poxwalkers. He has 2 different pistols.
Yep.
So I'll do the Absolver bolt pistol, so 1 shot hitting on a 3, you hit. Wounded on a 3 because it's strength 5, wounded.
Yeah, has AP -1, but doesn't matter against Poxwalkers. Takes another one out.
And the Reductor pistol, the one with the 3-inch range, hitting on a 3, missed. That's the important one because it's 2 damage. Then we'll do the Reavers. This Reaver in front is closer to the Foul Blight spawn, so he'll throw a shock grenade at him. And the other one isn't, so he'll fire his bolt pistol at the Plague Marines.
Yeah.
So the shock grenade, D3 shots, 3. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Yep, we got a hit.
Yeah, that's an important bit.
And the bolt pistol, hit. Wounding on a 5, rolling 1s, wounded.
Not in cover, so 4+. Yeah, made it.
And then Lieutenant Calcius will throw a crack grenade at the Plague Marines. 1 shot hitting on 3, rolling 1s, hit. Wounding on a 3, re-rolling 1s, wounded.
4+ again. Nope.
D3 damage, 2.
Disgustingly resilient. No. Well, made 1s, but someone does go down, and it'll be this bolt gunner who's a long way away from anything.
And in the charge phase, the 2 Reavers will declare a charge on the Foul Blight spawn.
Yeah, he's shock grenaded, so he can't overwatch. Yeah,
7's going to be enough. We're going to try and go round him, which we can. And then Calcius will also declare a charge on the... What do you call him?
Okay.
Oh, an 11.
Yeah, he's in.
Straight in.
So Calcius completes his charge like that. The Biologus Putrifier is close enough to heroically intervene, but I don't want to do that because I want him to go charging off to try and get another objective, so we're not going to. So your chargers get to go first.
Yes, but we don't get to charge because he smells bad. So it's actually straight to who...
Straight to who picks? Yeah, you're quite right. So who are you going to pick?
So I will actually pick the Intercessors. So the Intercessors will hit the Poxwalkers. Got 7 attacks hitting on 3s. 5 hits. Wounding on 3s. We're not within 6 inches of Calcius anymore, so wounding on 3s, not rerolling 1s. 4 wounds.
Not bad though. 3 left, and they're all dead.
Actually, we'll consolidate a little bit to form a wall around the Apothecary.
Yeah, good idea. But then it's my pick, so I've only got 1 pick to pick. He will pile into Calcius, stop Calcius doing any clever movement like that. In fact, he'll go there. Yep, so he's done that, and then he gets 3 attacks on Calcius, because he's actually more than an inch away from the Reavers now. Okay, so that's 3 times Death Emperor. And
Blimey.
well, I've never seen that before. Well, okay, 5 hits. Wounding on
4 wounds.
4 wounds.
3 plus armor saves.
No, well, okay. Yeah,
2.
It takes 2 wounds.
So down to 3 wounds.
Anyway, but he's been, so now you get to pick.
So I'll do Calcius next. 4 attacks hitting on 2s. They all hit. Wounding on 5s, rolling 1s.
1 wound, rolling 1s.
1 wound.
6 plus save. Nope. And then Disgustingly Resilient, no, so he takes a wound.
Down to 3.
And you pick the Reavers.
And the Reavers, so they are an inch away from the Foul Blight spawn, but...
They're more than an inch away, but they charge. So
they charge, so they still get to pile in. And he'll go like that, which I think...
it does bring him within an inch of the...
Brings him just... Yeah, it's going to bring in the Biologus Putrifier.
Yeah.
We're going to take that risk.
Yeah.
But then we've got to fight the...
Yes, you have got
Foul Blight spawn, so we've got 7 attacks, hitting on 3s. 6 hits. Boys, you're rolling 1s. Whoa!
Okay.
4 wounds. Come on, fail them all.
Arm saves. Failed 2. And Disgustingly Resilient. Made 1, so another wound. And then, but you have brought the Biologus Putrifier into melee. So you'll pile in on top of the Promethean drums there, just getting yourself a bit closer to the next objective. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. 3 hits, wounding on 4s, re-rolling 1s. They were wounded, got blimey. Arm saves.
Made them all.
So that is it for the end of Space Marines turn 2. So we're going.
Technically, it's my turn, but so the Apothecary doesn't get to pick up that
Yes,
objective.
indeed. So we're going to be on to Death Guard turn 3. Right, well that is my movement. Both of my characters have fallen back from melee, so they get to over here, and the Plague Marines have moved over there. And then in the shooting phase, this guy here with the bolt gun, he's going to throw the Unholy Death Head Grenade from the Foul Blight Spawn, and the Biologus Putrifier makes it better. So it's a hyper Unholy Death Head Grenade. So we're going to throw the Super Grenade at Calcius, and then all the other shots are going on the Reavers. So we'll do the grenade first. Now this is because of that Foul Blight Spawn's Unholy Death Head. This is grenade 2d6, so we've got 2d6 shots. Oh, 4, okay. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 3 hits. Wounding on 4s, but 6s cause mortal wounds in addition. So 3 wounds and a mortal wound, so
he needs to make all of these because it does 2 damage.
Oh,
he's made them all. So he takes a mortal wound, but no wounds otherwise, but he's down to 2.
Indeed. And then all the other shots at the Reavers. So we've got 4 Blight Launcher shots, 3 hits, wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s.
5+ arm saves. Made 1.
Yeah, it was cocked.
No, made 1.
2d, so d3 damage, 3 on the first one, and 2 on the second one.
Reavers go down.
So that can go down. And the champion doesn't get to shoot, but that doesn't matter. And then in the charge phase, they'll charge Calcius.
Yep. He'll overwatch with a crack grenade.
Okay.
Didn't hit.
They're in. And then, well, I get to hit him. So we'll do the Power Fist first. So 2 attacks hitting on 4s. 1 hit wounding on a 2. Yes, it does.
6+. No.
And d3 damage. 2, yeah. So
Cassius goes down.
And then they will just consolidate, spread out slightly. That's it for my turn. So the Apothecary picks up that objective, which gives the Space Marines 3 victory points. So it's 3 all as we go to Space Marines turn 3.
Yeah, so my movement, everyone's just moved up. The Apothecary is within 3 inches of the Plague Marines, so he can fire both his pistols.
I want to risk healing somebody?
No.
Okay.
I don't think 1 more intercessor is going to make too much difference.
Maybe not.
So I'll start with the Apothecary. He'll fire his Absolver Bolt pistol. It hit. Wounded on a 4 because it's strength 5. Wounded.
Mine's 1 AP.
Yeah.
No. And then Disgustingly Resilient. On damage. No. Yeah, we're going to lose a Blight Launcher in the middle.
You will.
Because I don't want you to charge around them if I can avoid it.
And then the Reductor pistol. Hitting on the 3 rolling 1s. Come on, hit with it. Do something with it. You hit. Wounds on a 5 because it's only strength 4. Alright, wounded. AP -3.
Yeah, so 6+ save. Nope.
2 damage.
2 damage, so I've got to make both of these. No.
Yay!
This time we will take the bolt gun.
And then the Intercessors are going to shoot the Plague Marines as well. 1 will throw a crack grenade and the other 2 will fire their bolt rifles. So crack grenade, re-rolling the 1, hitting on 3, missed. It was a dud. 4 bolt rifle shots, only on 5s. 1 wound.
4+. Yes.
And then the Intercessors will charge the Plague Marines.
Overwatching with the Blight Launcher, hitting on 6s, nope. And Plasma Gun not supercharged. Got a hit, wound on the 3. Yep.
6+, nope. Intercessor takes a wound.
Charge.
Charge distance 5. Oh yeah, can
Pile
definitely can pile it into him. So the Apothecary will charge them as well.
Yeah, okay.
Apothecary will charge as well, just for the
he's
sake of
in.
it. Well, we don't count as charging because we're within 7 inches of him.
Yeah, so you need to do
But
the
I'll
Intercessors
pick
first.
the Intercessors first and we'll pile in space contact with the champion.
Okay, are you going to bring him into melee? Or?
So it'd be like that. 7 attacks, hitting on 3s. 4 hits, wounding on 5s. 2 wounds.
Arm saves. Cost. Then because of the Foul Blight Spawn's aura, I do get to pick next. And we'll put everything on the Intercessors. So we'll do the knife first because there's a wounded guy. It hit, it wounded on a 4. Re-rolling 1s because it's a Plague Knife. No. And then the Power Fist, 2 attacks hitting on 4s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 2. Yep.
6+. Nope.
Nope, so that just kills the wounded man.
And then the Apothecary has 3 attacks. Hitting on 3s, 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound.
Arm save, failed. And Disgustingly Resilient, failed. So he'll take out the Blight Launcher. So that will be it for Space Marines turn 3. Although in the morale phase, I think the champion has to make a morale
he
test.
took 3 casualties, so in his leadership 8, so you need to not roll a 6.
I didn't roll 6, so he's alright. But we're going to go into Death Guard turn 4. Well, the Biologus Putrifier has moved over to the objective. The champion's going to stay in melee to use his Power Fist, and then the Foul Blight Spawn is going to advance. Only 1 inch. Well, that is enough to get him closer to the Apothecary, whom he will shoot. Strength of 2d6, 8. It's wounding on 2s then, but only 1 hit though. So it wounds on 2. Yeah, we've got a 6+.
No.
No.
Apothecary goes down to 2 wounds.
Yep.
So
the Biologus Putrifier actually fell back from melee, so he can't shoot. But I didn't attack with him, so I'm just going to do that now. So he did have 3 attacks, which all hit, and they wounded on 4s. Only had 1 wound. Oh no, he has a Plague Knife. Still only 1 wound.
3+ armor save.
Yeah, it was fine. So it didn't matter. But just suddenly realised. Then in the charge phase, the Foul Blight Spawn will charge the Apothecary.
Okay, so Overwatch from my 2 pistols.
Okay.
Absolver pistol. Oh, it hit outside the box, didn't hit in the box. And the reductor pistol. No.
No, and then, well, he's in. Stay away from the aggressors. Aggressors? Intercessors.
Oh, I wish they were aggressors.
Yeah. That means he gets to strike first, because he did charge. So 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 4s. 1 wound.
3+ armor save, made it.
And then my pick will obviously be the champion on the intercessors. 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. 1 hit again. Wounding on... That's 3, yeah.
6+, no.
D3 damage. 2.
So I'll take the regular one away.
Yeah.
Sarge will pile in. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 5s. 2 wounds, come on, kill him. Oh, yes.
It's the double 1. It's this
Yes.
it's this champion, he rolls double 1 at the worst times. This isn't Repugnus.
Yeah.
He dies. And you could
Consolidate.
solve that into...
It's going to be a draw.
Well, I actually get to pick now, because you piled into him, so here's 3 attacks. Hitting on 3s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 4.
Go on, Sarge.
Nope, didn't do anything. And your apothecary.
3 attacks, sitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound.
Make my save. So it's just fisticuffs now at the end of Death Guard turn 4. So we're in Space Marines turn 4, and so it's still 3 victory points each.
So we're not going to move because we are currently tied for objectives. If the sergeant survives a round, he can't pick that up.
Actually, he wouldn't be able to pick it up anyway because he fell back during the same battle round. But by consolidating into him, Sarge ensures that he can't pick one up in the final battle round either without having to kill Sarge first. And it means that Sarge doesn't have to take a load of Overwatch and some shooting as well.
And, well, the apothecary won't be able to do anything. And I don't want him to get shot at by the foul blight spawn again. So we're going to stay where we are, straight to the shooting phase. The apothecary will shoot his pistols at the foul blight spawn. So we've got the Absolver pistol, hitting on a 3, rolling ones. It hits, wounding on a 4, didn't wound. And the reductor pistol, hit, wounding on a 5. One, this is the important one. It wounded. 6+.
Minus 3 AP, 6+. No.
Yes! 2 damage.
2 damage, so disgusting event, he has to make 1. He hasn't.
Yes! Best melee character.
Sarge has his pistol.
Hitting on a 3, hit, wounding on a 5. Didn't wound.
Didn't wound.
Then in the fight phase, Sarge will fight him.
Yeah.
3 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 5s. No wounds.
And he gets to fight back. He got 1 hit, the death of the False Emperor.
Sarge, survive.
2 hits, wounding on 4s. 1 wound.
3+. 3+. Yes!
So he Putrifier cannot pick that up because he's still engaged in melee. As we go on to Death Guard turn 5. So the only way I can possibly win this now is if the Biologus Putrifier kills Sergeant in melee, picks this objective up at the end of your turn.
No, you can kill...
Sorry.
You can shoot Sarge.
Yeah, I can shoot Sarge with my pistol.
And melee him.
Yeah.
And then if Sergeant dies, I need to charge you with the apothecary to force a draw.
Yeah.
And survive the turn.
It's a long shot, but it's the best chance I have. So he's going to stay where he is, and he gets to shoot his pistol, which we don't see very often.
Yeah.
It hits on a 3, rerolling ones. It hit, it's strength 4, so it wounds on a 4. Oh, no, it doesn't.
It's D6 damage.
It's D6 damage, so it is, yeah, that could be nasty.
That was very important.
But then in melee, he has 3 attacks. 2, all of which hit, and Death of the False Emperor.
Dear.
All 4 hits. Wounding on 4s, rerolling 1s, rerolling 1s, 4 wounds.
Oh, come on, Sarge. Gotta make 3 of these.
Oh,
he's alive.
He is. I mean, that does actually pretty much decide the game, but anyway, you get to fight back with Sarge.
Oh, yeah. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. No wounds. My turn, Sarge will just fall back an inch to contest that objective.
Yeah.
And the apothecary will move 6 inches over to this one.
Yeah. So he can't pick this objective up because he won't have one of my turns to do it. No. But for holding the objective, you get 2 victory points at the end of the game. This one will be contested. So the only thing left to do is shoot him with your throw grenade.
Yeah, I'll throw. The apothecary will shoot as a Absolver pistol at him. It hit, wounding on a 4, didn't wound, and Sarge will throw a crack grenade. Rolling the 1, it missed.
Missed because he fell back.
There you go.
And so that will be it, because at the end of turn 5, or end of battle round 5, both players have picked up an objective, so that's 3 points each. This objective is contested, so no points there.
It's the most models within 3 inches you controls it.
So same number of models. And then this one, 2 victory points held by the Space Marine, so it'll be a Space Marine victory, 5 victory points to 3. And we're going to recap this for you now, to talk about, I think.
So that was the mission from issue 32 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think I'm pretty lucky to have scraped a win at the end. There's a bit of a Pyrrhic victory because almost everyone died. Where do we start? Sort of every dice roll changed the outcome of the game, I think.
Yeah, there were so many points in that game where it could have
swung to a victory for one side.
Well, let's start near the beginning then, shall we? You deployed really far back because you didn't want to be attacked by the Foul Blight Spawn.
I'm terrified of the Foul Blight Spawn, even though actually he was quite good in this mission. Usually he isn't, but he did kill 3 Reavers in one go. And I think it's similar to there's another mission we did earlier on that was very similar to this, where once again you get to go first, which I guess, since you're slower, it probably is more fair to do that. It's slightly easier for me to deal with you, but because you've got the Foul Blight Spawn, I either have to deploy really far back to avoid him, or deploy up front and potentially get hit. But if I deploy up front, I could have dealt with the Biologus Putrifier with the Reavers. I could have charged him and stopped you picking up the objective in the first turn. I don't know if the Reavers they probably would have died, but with 5 of them, they probably have enough attacks to kill most of the Poxwalkers, and then they can tie up the Biologus Putrifier. And then you have to decide whether your Plague Marines are going to deal with them, or they're going to do something else.
Yes, exactly. And if you made that charge, then you would have had 5 of them rather than 2, because they wouldn't have died.
And the Apothecary probably would have been able to pick up that objective as well.
Yeah, that was a point where everything could have changed. And then I did shoot you with a Foul Blight Spawn. He killed 3 of them.
Yes.
Oh, and then I was able to charge with my Poxwalkers and deny you picking up an objective. It wouldn't have happened if you'd made the charge. But then you came back by charging the Foul Blight Spawn.
I'd say you might look back and think that maybe would have been better to trap the Foul Blight Spawn with the 2 Reavers and Cassius. But that would have meant that the Plague Marines would have had to shoot at the Intercessors as the only target. Which means the Intercessors wouldn't have been alive later on to win the game for me.
And it also would have meant that the Biologus Putrifier was not engaged in melee, so he would have been able to run off and perhaps pick up another objective.
Might have been able to get another objective.
And then after that, I fell back with the characters and shot and killed Cassius and the Reavers. But then that meant your Apothecary and Intercessors were still alive, who then killed 3 Plague Marines.
The champion being killed by the Sergeant and the Apothecary killing the Foul Blight Spawn. Both pretty unlikely to happen. The Foul Blight Spawn failing to kill the Apothecary, very unlikely to happen.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah, because I didn't roll very well with his advanced roll. So the only way he could get the Apothecary as the closest target was to get within 3 inches of him, which meant you would have been able to heroically intervene at the end of my charge phase. So that meant I then had to charge him after I failed to kill him. Because if I didn't charge him, you would have heroically intervened into him to stop him shooting again the next turn. But then you just blew his head off with the pistol, which was great.
I was going to say, the Apothecary is meant to be more of a medic and a support character, but he probably did more in combat than Cassius did in this game.
Yeah, he was pretty badass this game.
You didn't really get to see his healing ability. He healed an Intercessor, and that was it.
Yeah, that's true, because you didn't want to risk the 50-50 chance of being able to do nothing, and had you done so, you wouldn't have been able to, because he killed Poxwalkers, he shot the Foul Blight Spawn, he fired his pistols at one other point and killed a Plague Marine.
Yeah, I think he got 2 kills with his Reductor pistol, which is pretty impressive for a gun with a 3-inch range.
Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, I found myself with a Biologus Putrifier, with an angry sergeant to contend with, and I had that one chance at the end. I would have been able to force a draw, because by the time it got down to 2v1, would have been able to beat the Apothecary.
Could have, even if you'd killed the sergeant with your pistol, you could have charged the Apothecary. Yeah. And then if the Apothecary had survived, I could have just fallen back onto an objective and still won.
So I had to kill that Apothecary.
Yeah. You'd have to kill both of them.
I had to kill both of them, and falling back wouldn't have achieved anything. So I kind of felt, at some points, like I threw it away, but like by bad decisions or bad movement or whatever. But actually, looking back on it, I don't think I could have done anything particularly different.
I think it's mainly that I was able to keep the Biologus Putrifier in melee.
Yeah, you did.
And then you had to change which objective you were going for.
That's a good point, because he was running in behind, kind of, well protected, but then all of a sudden there was a big hole, which was actually because I charged my Poxwalkers out. So I charged my Poxwalkers out to stop you getting 3 victory points and let you come in behind my lines and start messing my plans up. So
I mean, you could also talk about like deploying of objectives. I mean, I think I could have deployed the Ultramarines one slightly closer to my deployment zone, and the Apothecary wouldn't have had to advance and stuff like that.
Yeah, little things like that.
Well, no, it's just that he needed to advance at all, so it's a little bit less shooting.
Well, actually, and I didn't put my objective. Oh, actually, I didn't go for my objectives that was right outside my deployment zone.
But I think that makes sense, because you can go for the ones further away and then get the easier one by using your forces to cover the easier one.
Yeah, and going first is an advantage. In fact, about halfway through the game, we were saying, well, the recap is going to be pretty much, if the Death Guard get to go first, then their shooting usually makes the difference.
If your Plague Marines roll reasonably well and your Foul Blight Spawn rolls reasonably well, you're going to do enough damage to the Space Marines that...
Well, I did tons of damage, but...
Yeah.
Actually, I think towards the end of the game, your AP -1 came into I failed a lot of armor saves
Yeah, I
towards the
think
end
it was,
of the game.
Yeah, it was right down to basically
Yeah.
3 intercessors and the apothecary who won the game, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I did get to use the Wombo combo grenade, the 2d6, but I only rolled 4. So I might as well just not bother. Because I could have rolled a 4 and a d6 if I didn't know I was going to do that. Oh no, you made all your armor saves. It did immortal.
I mean, it did.
It did immortal wound that meant that the champion didn't need to roll a 3 on his d3 to kill him in melee. Anyway, I don't think there's much more we can think of to say about this. So if you enjoyed this video, I know we did, then give it a like and subscribe for more like this. If you've played these games, or if you have any thoughts about what you would have done differently, then do leave a comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say. But until next time, we've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you then.
Yep, goodbye.